Students, today we are starting with Let's Make Commerce Easy, and that we are doing is Constituents of Business Environment. So let's begin. आज सीखते हैं कि कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट्स या टाइप अगर क्वेश्चन आए ऑफ बिजनेस एनवायरनमेंट तो उसमें क्या दो टाइप्स लिखना है. तो पहले तो इंटरनल एनवायरनमेंट और एक्सटर्नल एनवायरनमेंट. मैंने कल सिखाया था एनवायरनमेंट एक ऐसी चीज है जो अपन को मतलब अपने बिजनेस में है. मतलब अगर मेरा बिजनेस है मास्क मेकिंग का, तो मास्क मेकिंग में कौन कौन से लोग या कौन कौन से रिसोर्सेज मेरे अंदर है, वी आर गोइंग टू स्टडी अबाउट दैट. So let's understand the first type, the A type of internal environment, and what is internal environment. So internal environment is that kind of environment which is present in the firm itself. वो ऑफिस या वो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के अंडर जो एग्जिस्टिंग है उसको इंटरनल एनवायरनमेंट बोलते हैं. कैन यू सी द कर्सर व्हेन आई एम गोइंग? All these are the constituents of internal environment. Let us go one by one. The first one I have is objectives of business or mission and objectives. ये mission क्या है? मतलब a mission statement reflects the vision, purpose and philosophy of the organization. When I'm talking about mission and objectives, I'm saying ये organization का main एम क्या है, किस किस रीजन के लिए वो बना है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, the mission the statement of a pharmaceutical company is we must produce best quality drugs in the pharma industry. कुछ भी हो जाए, मेरा मिशन या ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है? टू प्रोड्यूस द बेस्ट क्वालिटी ड्रग फॉर द फार्मा इंडस्ट्री. Are you understanding? So अभी जो नेक्स्ट एम्प्लॉइज को, सब एम्प्लॉइज को पता है कि ये ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में सबसे बेस्ट क्वालिटी के फार्मास्यूटिकल ड्रग्स मेडिसिन बनते हैं. So that is my objective, and everybody is aware who is working in that organization, and that is why objectives and missions is the first kind of internal environment. दूसरा इंटरनल एनवायरनमेंट है प्लान्स एंड पॉलिसीज. नाउ व्हाट डू आई मीन बाय प्लान्स एंड पॉलिसीज? सो एनालिसिस ऑफ प्लान्स एंड पॉलिसीज विल अनेबल द फर्म टू फाइंड आउट देयर सूटेबिलिटी. मतलब मेरा ये प्लान है, ये प्लान के अनुसार जो मुझे अचीव करना है कि मुझे लेट्स टेक 2 नए मेडिसिन फाइंड आउट करने हैं जिससे इम्यूनिटी बढ़ेगी. उसके बाद मैंने सब मेरे वर्कर्स को बोले कि ये मेरा फॉर्मूला है और आपको इस तरीके के सब इनपुट्स डालने हैं और ये रेशियो में डालना है. सो माय प्लान्स एंड पॉलिसीज आई हैव टू टेल ऑल माय एम्प्लॉइज. सो प्लान्स एंड पॉलिसीज इज द सेकंड internal environment, second constituent of internal environment. The third point is human resources. Now when I'm talking about human resources, ये human resources क्या है? See, the survival and success of any organization depends upon the quality of human resources, the manpower. It indicates the strength and weaknesses of the employees. So human resources plays a very important role. आज एक टीचर भी okay है या good है, it is because of the students. The students make a teacher really effective because they are like, no, we like her lectures and we want to attend more because we are understanding and she's teaching in a way more easier way. So human resources like that for a company indicates that all the manpower who is going to work for the company and is going to make sure that the company is at the top level. The fourth point I have is physical resources. Now when I'm talking about physical resources, they are all the premises, the factories, the buildings, the furniture, that whole kind of environment which is making that person, the staff very happy, or which is becoming things very accessible for the firm. So physical resources may be a very important role. Now sometimes the machines are outdated, so the best possible option is to change those machines. So that also comes under physical resources. The fifth point I have is financial resources. When I'm talking about financial resources, now what are these financial resources? A firm needs to obtain the funds. Now see, for example, if I want to expand, तो उसके लिए मुझे लोन लेना पड़ेगा, उसके लिए मुझे शेयर्स इशू करेंगे या न्यू आईपीओ के लिए आना पड़ेगा. So this is one example of how I will obtain my funds. The sixth point I have is corporate image. ये corporate image क्या है? आपके company, when I'm talking about Larsen and Toubro, everybody has a very good image about that firm. So corporate image plays a very important role. Are you understanding? For having a very good image for the people. The seventh point I have is labor management relations. When I'm talking about labor management relation, एक एम्प्लॉई का अपने मैनेजमेंट, मतलब द मेन सीईओ है, द मेन स्टेक होल्डर्स है या द मेन ट्रस्टीज है, उसके साथ कैसा रिलेशनशिप है. Like today, if you have any problem, where will you go? To Tushar sir. Are you understanding? So that is like the student and the management relationship. Are you understanding? Or you are not happy with my teaching, or you want to complain. So what will you do? How will you go? That no ma'am, this is where things are going wrong. Or ma'am is just not conducting any lectures, So that is known as a student and a management relationship. The seventh point we have is technical relationship or technological capabilities. Sometimes machine ऐसे खड़ 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 आवाज आ रहा है या बहुत सारा टाइम लग रहा है for outputs to come, or they keep stopping every minute. So again, you need to change. So all this was a part of internal environment. Are you understanding? Now let's start with external environment. Now, what is external environment? Let's understand this better. So, external environment is that environment which is outside the firm and there could be an opportunity or threat. So, let's understand this better. So, the constituents of business environment, in that we are doing is the external environment, and the first kind of external environment we have is micro environment. Let's understand what is micro environment. Micro environment is that environment where the factors and the firm's immediate environment. So first one I have is customers. Customers influences the most of the decisions of the firm. If the customer is very happy, you will have 100 more customers today with you. The second point I have is competitors. ये competitors क्या है? Competitors are those people who are going to make sure that your product will be better, because in that competition, I explained to you yesterday also that when there are two students and they know they both are rankers, so they would both want to stand out. अच्छा इसने ये बनाया, मैं इससे better technology कुछ लाती हूँ. So, like Vodafone was 2G, 3G, 4G, now 5G, what people are saying, or 5, whatever. So, that all came because of competition. If you will not give that, then somebody else will provide that and people will swap out there. Third point I have is suppliers. Now, who are the suppliers? Who provides raw materials, other supplies? The company has to keep a watch over prices and qualities of the supply. The fourth point I have is channel intermediaries. When I'm talking about channel intermediaries, who are the middlemen, or how things are there, or how the feedback or for the taste preferences, वो कैसे मुझे पता चलेगा? So all these goes through channel intermediaries. The fifth point I have is society in general. So the society also affects the external environment. मतलब लोग खरीद रहे हैं, लोगों का राय आपके लिए क्या है? How is also the public relations being handled? All this are the constituents of micro environment. And now we begin with macro environment. So macro environment is the broader horizon of the socio-economic factors that affect the working of the firm. Now, it relates to the demographic environment, the economic environment, the natural environment, the technological environment, the political environment, the cultural environment, and the financial and legal environment. अभी देखते हैं कि कौन से environment और वो क्या कर रहे हैं. The first one I have is demographic environment. Now, demographic environment relates to human population. और वो क्या क्या स्टडी करता है? Size, density, literacy rate, life expectancy rate, it's a male or a female in terms of the sex ratio, the rural-urban divide, the age composition, the occupation pattern, मतलब कौन-कौन कितना कमा रहा है. See, it is no longer that, the minimum age group to attain is 18 years. There are so many child artists who are earning. There are so many people above 80 also who are earning. तो ऐसा ऑक्यूपेशन पैटर्न स्टडी करता है कि बेस्ड ऑन व्हाट इज योर वर्क प्रोफाइल, what will be the minimum age group where people can start earning. So all of this comes under the demographic environment. Marketers are studying this demographic environment and then coming up with better ways to capture those kind of people also. The next form is economic environment. So economic environment studies economic conditions of the market and economic policies of the government. Is it stable? It is not stable. Or what is the new policy? The third point I have is natural environment. So erosion of natural resources that one studies, or why will somebody use land, water, minerals based on what industry they want to come up with, or also what will that industry do to reduce the pollution of resources like air, water. There are so many what do you call NGOs who work and who sue those companies who have actually disrupted the environment in and around, and those people have actually got more of asthma and all of this. So all of this comes under the natural environment. Natural environment is also known as ecological environment. The fourth point I have is technological environment. When I'm talking about technological environment, it enables the business firms to reduce cost and to improvise the quality. So technological environment plays a very important role. The fifth point I have is political environment. When I'm talking about political environment means like nobody thought that in the Congress time and in the BJP time, so much of scenarios, new things, or government policies. According to the government policies, also the marketing and the production policies will change. So it plays a very important role. The sixth point I have is cultural environment. In traditional times, there was a lot of things where a lot of Indian clothes used to go. Today's environment, there is a lot of Western clothes, a lot of Western influence that we have even in India. So we are following the Western culture to a great extent. So all of this forms under the cultural environment. Our culture, tradition, beliefs, values, lifestyles are all going to influence the decisions. The seventh point I have is financial and legal environment. So the poor financial climate in the country, they dampen the spirit of stock markets. Therefore, corporate firms find it difficult to raise funds from the primary market. The non-availability of right funds also affects the growth prospects of the corporate firms. So all of this comes under the financial environment and the legal environment. So today we have so many legal laws, the Companies Act, etc., etc. All of this comes under the legal environment, and even Factories Act to protect all the workers who are working in the industries. Thank you, friends. With this, I hope the topic of constituents of business environment has got really clear. Thank you, friends, for listening. And also, students, the source from the same has been taken from Manan Prakashan.